Never start a crochet project without watching this first, because most beginners make the same mistakes and quit before they even finish their first thing. You picked up a hook, you grabbed some yarn, and you went on YouTube or Pinterest and found something that looked so easy. And then you tried it, it looked nothing like the picture, and you just put it all down and walked away. That happens to almost every single beginner. But here's the thing, it's not because you're bad at it, it's because nobody told you which projects to actually start with. So today, I'm going to fix that. I'm going to show you the best crochet ideas for beginners, why they work, and how to actually finish them without wanting to throw your yarn out the window. Let's talk about why so many beginners struggle at the start. You open up a pattern, and it's full of abbreviations like SC, DC, CH, SLT, and you have no idea what any of that means. Or you find a project that looks simple in the photo, but then the instructions are 3 pages long and assume you already know things you've never even heard of. That gap between I want to learn crochet and I actually finish something is where most people give up. And the reason is simple. They started with the wrong project. Crochet has a learning curve, but it's not a steep one if you start in the right place. The key is building your confidence with small wins. Every time you finish something, even if it's tiny, your brain gets a little reward. You feel capable. You want to keep going. So the goal with beginner projects is not to make something impressive. The goal is to make something finished, because finishing is what teaches you the most and keeps you coming back. So let's get into the actual ideas. The first thing every single beginner should make is a simple dishcloth or washcloth. I know, it doesn't sound glamorous, but hear me out. A dishcloth is flat, it's square or rectangle, and it uses the most basic stitches in all of crochet. You're usually just doing rows of single crochet or double crochet back and forth until it looks like a little square. That's it. No shaping, no increases, no decreases, no reading complicated pattern notes. Just stitch after stitch until you're done. And when you're done, you have a real, usable thing that you made with your hands. You can use it in your kitchen, give it to someone, or just hold it up and think, I made this. It sounds small, but that feeling matters a lot when you're just starting out. Cotton yarn works best for this because it's smooth and easy to work with. Get a medium weight cotton yarn and a size 5mm hook, and you're set. After a dishcloth, the next step up is a simple beanie or slouchy hat. Now, this might sound like a jump, but it's actually not as hard as it seems. Most beginner-friendly hat patterns use only double crochet, which is one of the first stitches you learn anyway. You start at the top with a magic ring or a chain loop, work in rounds, and slowly your flat circle starts becoming a hat. Hats are great because they're quick. Most people finish a hat in a weekend, maybe less if you sit down and really get into it. And hats are genuinely useful. You can wear it, give it as a gift, or make one for a kid, and it'll look adorable. The fact that it comes together into a 3D shape feels like magic the first time it happens. You go from a flat circle to something that you can actually put on your head, and that moment is what gets a lot of people hooked on crochet for good. Now, let's talk about something really popular right now, tote bags. Crocheted bags have been everywhere lately, and the good news is that a basic tote is totally beginner-friendly. The body of a tote bag is basically just a big rectangle that you fold and seam together, and then you add handles. That's the simple version. You can use chunky yarn to make it go faster, and the bigger stitches are easier to see, which helps a lot when you're still learning to count and keep track of your rows. A finished tote bag is something you can actually take out in public, and when someone asks where you got it, you get to say you made it yourself. That never gets old, honestly. Another really fun and satisfying beginner project is a simple headband or ear warmer. This one is probably the fastest finish you'll ever get. An ear warmer is essentially a long strip of crochet that you join into a loop and twist in the middle. Most of them take less than an hour. And because it's so small and so quick, it's perfect for when you want to practice a new stitch without committing to a huge project. You can make 10 of them in different colors and try slightly different stitches on each one. It becomes a practice piece that also looks really cute. A lot of beginners use ear warmers to get comfortable with tension, which is basically how tight or loose your stitches are. Tension is one of those things that's hard to explain, but gets better the more you practice, and small, fast projects like this are the best way to build that muscle memory. If you want to try something a little more creative, look into simple granny squares. Now, granny squares are those classic little crochet squares you've probably seen on blankets or bags. Each square only takes a few minutes to make once you get the hang of it, and the pattern repeats the same steps over and over, so it becomes almost automatic. The best part about granny squares is that you can make one whenever you have a few minutes, watching TV, waiting for something to cook, sitting in the car, and then eventually you have a stack of them and you can join them together into a blanket or a bag or even a pillow cover. It breaks a big project into tiny pieces, which is way less overwhelming than staring at a huge project all at once. Speaking of blankets, a simple beginner blanket is absolutely something you can do. The trick is to not try to make it huge right away. A baby blanket is the perfect size for a first blanket. It's small enough that it doesn't feel like endless, but it still looks like a real impressive finished object. Most beginner blanket patterns use single crochet or half double crochet in rows, which you'll already know from making your dishcloth. You just keep going until it's the right size. Soft, chunky yarn makes this go faster and also looks really cozy when it's done. Baby blankets are also incredible gifts, which is extra motivation to actually finish one. One thing that a lot of beginners don't think about is making simple keychains or little bag charms. These are tiny, they use up scraps of yarn you already have, and they're a great way to try out new shapes and techniques without any pressure. You can make a little heart, a little mushroom, or just a simple round ball. These tiny projects are actually where a lot of people first learn amigurumi, which is the art of making little crocheted stuffed figures. If you've ever seen those cute crocheted animals or food characters on social media, that's amigurumi. And it's more beginner-friendly than most people think, as long as you start with something really simple. Here's something important. Nobody really says enough about this. Your first projects are not going to be perfect, and that's completely fine. Your tension will be uneven in places, your edges might be a little wonky, you might lose count and have to start a row over. That is all normal. Every single person who crochets now went through that. The only way to get better is to keep making things. Don't wait until you feel ready to start your next project. Just start it. The messiness of learning is part of the process, and there's actually something kind of beautiful about a beginner piece because you can see exactly where you were when you made it. When you're picking your first few projects, try to stick to yarn that's labeled as medium weight or bulky. Thin yarn is harder to work with when you're learning because the stitches are tiny and it's easy to miss one. Also, go for lighter colored yarn at first, like white, cream, or pastels, because it's much easier to see your stitches clearly when the yarn is light. Dark yarn hides the stitches and makes it harder to learn. And get a hook that's the right size for your yarn. The label on the yarn usually tells you what size hook to use, so just follow that. The last thing I want to say is this. Crochet is supposed to be enjoyable. If a project is stressing you out and making you frustrated, put it down and try something simpler. There's no rule that says you have to finish every single project. Give yourself permission to explore, experiment, and make things just for the fun of it. The people who stick with crochet long-term are the ones who let it be a relaxing, creative thing, rather than a task they have to complete. You've got the ideas now, you know where to start, and honestly, the only thing left is just to pick one and go for it. If you want to see more beginner crochet content just like this, subscribe. There's a lot more coming.